Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2020. Okay, guess what? It's not that I'm lying to you people, but that's why I am the ever-flexible, fluid, and most humble messenger. Things change, and they change fast. So, yes, I promised you a particular video that would be out first early this morning. It's going to have to go one step down. It will be my next video later on in the wee hours of the morning. If I get to it, and I will get to it. Everybody wants to know, inquiring minds, who is this mysterious person that I have been inspired to create my next video by? Well, I'll tell you what. You know me. I would never use someone's real name. Why expose them to the public harshness? So we'll just use a code name. I just picked one out of the thin air. It just came to me in a vision. We'll just call him Urkel. And I do not mean Steve Quincy Urkel from Family Matters. No, this is a particular Urkel all of its own kind. So anyway, something to wait forward to. I will tie this all together, people. Yep, history repeats itself. There's a common linchpin. Urkel, you inspired me. Next video, though. Okay, right off the bat, let's get to this one. Now, people, you got to remember, I'm going to do a little Fox News feed from the Tucker Carlson show last night. I have to interrupt. It has to be a commentary type thing, otherwise copyright strike. But I think Tucker is an unusual mainstream media outlet. He seems to get away with saying things that don't jibe with the party politics. He says all kinds of stuff. And I go, wow, how does he get away with it? I mean, how come he is not unemployed? But, be that as it may, he does seem to get away with it. Let's see what he has to say. Because remember now, we're talking about 18 months to maybe never.
Dr. Anthony Fauci has announced, for example, that Americans must brace for 18 months of shutdowns at the absolute minimum.
Whoa. Dr. Anthony Fauci? Are you talking about Operative 7? Are you talking about Bill Gates' buddy? Yes, he is.
And if a vaccine isn't found, it could go on forever.
If back to normal means acting like there never was a coronavirus problem, I don't think that's going to happen until we do have a situation where you can completely protect the population. If you want to get to pre-coronavirus, that might not ever happen in the sense of the fact that the threat is there.
So life may never return to normal in this country. We may never regain what we've lost. You're hearing a lot of people say that all of a sudden. It's becoming a species of conventional wisdom. On MSNBC last night, where conventional wisdom often is born, UPenn professor Zeke Emanuel explained that America may be shuttered for 18 months at least.
Okay, people, you're going to get a picture of this because I'm going to leave a link to Tucker's 12-minute segment. If you ever thought of an egghead, one of these intellectual eggheads, this guy is it.
Realistically, COVID-19 will be here for the next 18 months or more. We will not be able to return to normalcy until we find a vaccine or effective medications. I know that's dreadful news to hear. How are people supposed to find work if this goes on in some form for a year and a half? Is all that economic pain worth trying to stop COVID-19? The truth is, we have no choice. If we prematurely end that physical distancing and the other measures, keeping it at bay, deaths could skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands, if not a million. We cannot return to normal until there's a vaccine. Conferences, concerts, sporting events, religious services, dinner in a restaurant, none of that will resume until we find a vaccine, a treatment, or a cure.
You can't go to church until we have a vaccine. The truth is, we have no choice. Heard that before? That's a familiar phrase in Washington. It ought to make you nervous. Do what I say, follow my orders without question or complaint, or a million people will die. The oceans will rise, the polar bears will perish, the human race itself will go extinct.
Yes, sir. Fear porn at its finest. Operative number 7, and now this new egghead on MSLSD. Gotta watch it, people. That's what your humble message has been telling you. We're getting scammed big time. Okay. Possibly some good news here from the New York Times. Quickly, New York Times article on April 7th. A Liberty Rebellion in Idaho threatens to undermine coronavirus orders. Even some public officials have challenged social distancing requirements, calling them assaults on the Constitution. One group wants to gather up 1,000 people for Easter. Quickly here, I'll just read a few brief lines. Okay, Sandpoint, Idaho. In Sentinel Factory Building north of Boise, a few dozen people gathered last week to hear Amon Bundy. Hey, that guy ring any bells? The man who once led an armed takeover in Oregon Wildlife Refuge. Yeah, they also fought off the Bureau of Land Management and their standing army in Nevada, remember? The meeting, which appeared to violate orders by Governor Brad Little of Idaho to avoid group gatherings, was an assertion of what Mr. Bundy said was a constitutional right to peacefully assemble. But Mr. Bundy said he also hoped to create a network of people ready to come to the aid of those facing closure of their businesses or other interference from the government as a result of the coronavirus outbreak. If it gets bad enough and our rights are infringed upon enough, we can physically stand in defense in whatever way we need to, Mr. Bundy told the meeting, but we hope we don't have to get there. Boy, what's happening in northern Idaho? You know, another cluster. Not a cluster of Mona Corona, but a cluster of real Americans. People, you may never see life return to normal. I don't know what it takes to point that out to you. Operative number 7, he's telling you. Bill Gates is telling you. About Dr. Henry Kissinger. Come on, people, wake up. All right, I will leave a link to Tucker Carlson in the video below. And, hey, you know I got stuff to do. Oh, yeah, you say it. You'd get anything done? Listen, man, I got stuff to do. Today is the day I am going to submit my email request for a governor's pardon. Why not? The governor should pardon me, because I was born on the 3rd of July in Rugby, North Dakota. Almost on the 4th of July, right in the center of North America. Now, if that don't make you an All-American, what in the hell does? So, I will try to get that out today to the governor's office. I will post it on my Facebook Facebook page. Well, that Facebook, that's something else. And we have to do our other video inspired by Codename Operative Urkel. Okay, people, I got stuff to do. You guys have a good day. Watch out for my next video, because I will try to get the storytelling done.